Hello everyone, this is Babamots, and welcome to another Homeworlds game commentary. This is a game between DodoBorby and Gregory from Earth. DodoBorby has been playing for quite a long time. I know they played on Super Duper Games for quite a while, and they won the tournament I ran a few years ago. Well, let's see, a couple years ago now. I think I called it the Winter Tournament. It was a live game tournament, the only live game tournament I've ever done where everybody had to play their games in real time. They won the lower division. I think they probably could have gone into the upper division and just done just fine. And Gregory, I don't know so much about, but at least when this game was played, Gregory actually had the higher rating. So I don't know who I would bet on here. Let's see what they do. Dodo goes first. Yellow banker. Gregory takes a red fortress. Get through these first few moves. Gregory changes their mind about trading for yellow and trades for red to match Dodo. Looks like neither wants to open up the mediums for the other. That's pretty common. Dodo trading for yellow, matching their own small home star. Gregory matches. That opens up the mediums, so Dodo gets medium, Gregory gets medium. Dodo spreads out their yellows. And here again is a place where, I think I mentioned this a game or two ago, where I usually prefer to move the smaller ship forward, especially when it's yellows. So that if Gregory did choose to build another yellow, I would have the smaller ship forward that would have the option to overpopulate by sacrificing the medium that was still back at home. Let's see, Gregory is also spreading out the yellows. Gregory could have built that medium yellow back at home if they'd wanted to, though Dodo wouldn't have been able to overpopulate it, but Dodo could have built a large yellow, and then Gregory couldn't build a fourth yellow, of course. And by the time Gregory got to build a large yellow themselves, Dodo could have traded or otherwise blocked the large build. So this is actually probably better for Greg than building a third at home. Interesting. Dodo is invading Gregory's colony. I don't see that that's going to do very much for them, though. Gregory can just run away. Let's see, the star. What color was the star? I think the star was green. So that doesn't. Putting the star back in the bank doesn't really do anything. This doesn't seem very effective to me. Gregory can run, although I guess Dodo could just chase this ship around as long as they feel like. I don't think building, well, let's see. If Gregory builds, Dodo can sacrifice red to capture the medium that Gregory's just built. Gregory could then sacrifice their G3 to build. Actually, that's pretty good for Gregory. Yeah. Okay, good for Gregory here. Build this medium. If Dodo captures it, which I think they're somewhat likely to do, Gregory sacrifices G3 to build one large here in Bleb for the overpopulation, and then two Y3s back at home, then triggering the catastrophe in Bleb. DodoBorby would be down. They would lose that Y2. They would also have sacrificed their R1, and Gregory would be up a large ship. So that chain of events looks really good for Gregory. Dodo could instead build that Y3 themselves for the catastrophe here, or they've got a few other options. If Gregory sticks with this move, let's see what they do. Yes. Okay, how does Dodo respond? Building for the catastrophe? Do they stick with that? Gregory comes out. Interesting. So usually I expect that the player who goes first is going to have a slight advantage throughout, but that little exchange, Dodo, I think, spending the time to move by one, moving their larger ship out rather than the smaller ship compared to Gregory, and that extra turn it took to move to Gregory's colony set them back just a little bit of time. So it's Gregory's turn, which is a little advantage, and Gregory's got a larger ship compared to Dodo, though they've got the same colors. So Gregory comes out slightly ahead from all that, but pretty big reset. All right, rebuilding greens. Dodo pursuing reds. Gregory can match by building a medium red. Dodo can build medium red. Yep. How does Gregory... They probably want to contend for these large red ships now. Okay, Gregory moving out the larger ship this time, the medium rather than the small. It'll be better defended if Dodo happens to invade again. Oh, interesting. I'm a little surprised they didn't pick a green star, though. Even though moving to a green star would have left that R2 stuck. It's a common thing to do so that you can build without sacrificing a green, especially when right now there's a hotly contended color. I think Gregory should just build the R3. Well, they could... Gregory could do a shopping spree, build all 3 of the R3s, 1 at home, 2 in the colony. Dodo would probably overpopulate the colony, but they'd be sacrificing a Y1 to do it. And Gregory would still have all the colors, but Dodo wouldn't have yellow anymore. So shopping spree's all right. I think they're more likely to just build the R3. Yeah, vanilla build. And Dodo can build an R3 back at home, but Gregory could catastrophe it. I think I would. If Dodo builds R3, I'd sacrifice the Y2 to move the R2 to Dodo's home. And Gregory wouldn't have yellow anymore, but they'd be up a large ship, which we saw in a recent video. Having a large ship to chase your opponent's ships around is really powerful. So Dodo just spreading out their reds. Gregory could try to deny a large ship to Dodo by trading their R1 at home, or, well, actually that wouldn't work because Dodo can still do a shopping spree. And they're not in a great position to discover a red star, let alone 2. Well, they could discover 2 red stars. They could sacrifice Y2 to discover a red star with each of these 2 red ships, but that's pretty ugly. Red ships at red stars are kind of ugly, I think. Let's see what they do. They okay, yeah, just building the red. Dodo builds a red, maybe in the colony? Is that what they're looking for? Yeah. Okay. Well, so Gregory still comes out ahead by 1 large ship, but being up 3/2 is less impressive than being up 2/1. If you've got 2 large ships and your opponent only has 1, then you've got a large ship that can stay at your home while another one chases your opponent's ships around at the colonies. If you've got just 3/2, then Dodo will have a large ship defending a colony. So if Dodo needs to, they can group up all of their ships at that colony. And they'll be defended. Okay, Gregory looking at trading into blue. That's not unexpected. This isn't a good time for Dodo to try to get blue, since they'd lose a color in their home if they did. Dodo advancing their red. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That threatens to overpopulate one of Gregory's stars. And here Gregory, yeah, can just threaten this just threaten this R2, which will probably run away. But, oh, Dodo's considering not running it away, just building yellow. That's surprising. I think if they do that, Gregory will just capture the R2. I don't see that Dodo gets much out of it, other than getting ahead a little more on yellows. I don't like that very much. I think I would have run away. Even if I had to, I think I would run it to a large yellow so that I could bring that R2 back home where it's safe. Gregory's going to capture. Yep. Sorry if you hear that noise outside. Some people shouting. Okay, Gregory building the Y2. I think that's very reasonable. Oh, but they took back the capture. That's interesting. Okay. Maybe they thought, maybe they see something that I didn't, that maybe it's more urgent to pick up on the yellow economy than to take that one red ship. Okay, Dodo spreading out their yellows. Yeah, since there are large yellows available now, I think Gregory should pass up the capture this time to probably spread out the yellows. I think I'd move one to Samori. Yeah, that's what they like. And now Dodo, I think, will just want to build one large yellow. Not a good time to shopping spree, since that would put their home star in danger. All right, Dodo gets one large yellow. Gregory could consider the shopping spree to pick up the other two, although it's not very urgent to get both. Gregory is actually in a position where they could very reasonably build one. Dodo can't build a large yellow on their next turn, so Gregory can build the second one on the turn after, if Dodo doesn't block. So I think Gregory will just build one. At home or in Samori doesn't make too much difference. Oh, they are going to do both. Well, they at least entered the move. Let's see if they commit to it. They do. Okay. Well, that's quite all right. Now that the yellow dust has settled a little, Dodo may now want to move their R2 away from Faust, but at this point, well, no. Okay. I'm a little slow to pick up on sacrifice options sometimes. And this wasn't an option a moment ago, since Dodo didn't have the large yellow, but I think what Dodo is likely to do here is sacrifice the large yellow to move two more reds into Gregory's home and catastrophe the red star and little red ship. I think that's what I would do, even though that's a little scary. Any time you can catastrophe an opponent's home star along with one of their ships, it's very nice, because you only have to move in two of your own ships rather than the usual three to achieve that catastrophe. But it still will set Dodo back quite a bit of material, a large, a medium, and a small. And Dodo is already behind on material and large ships in particular, so that's kind of scary. It connects their homes. But Gregory already has a lead on unlocking Dodo out of blue, which would be the color of Gregory's remaining home star. So makes it a pretty difficult decision. I would be very tempted to sacrifice the Y3 and blow up Gregory's star. Let's see what Dodo picks. It's possible they don't even see it. It can be pretty hard to see. You notice I looked past it at first. It can be hard to see these moves that require a sacrifice and multiple movements. Okay, looking at trading for blue. That means that Dodo doesn't have a red in their homeworld anymore. But it does mean that they are... Okay, this is interesting. Dodo is now simultaneously threatening to blow up the red and blue star, either one, but not both in the same turn. By sacrificing the Y3, Dodo can move a blue all the way across the universe to blow up Gregory's blue star, or, like I said before, moving the two reds to blow up the red star. Either one would cost the Y3, so they would have to pick just one of those two. Okay, but Dodo changed their mind about that trade anyhow. Dodo considering moving a little yellow into Samori. I don't... That doesn't achieve very much. It can be... Well... Okay, I think what Dodo probably has in mind is that Gregory will want to either run away a red, which costs Gregory some time, and Dodo would then have the threat of sacrificing not the large yellow, but the medium yellow to move two reds into Gregory's home. Or Gregory can capture this little red. If they capture it without sacrificing one of their red ships, so it should be the medium, then Dodo can destroy one of Gregory's large ships and the medium without losing a large ship themselves, sacrificing the Y2 to move probably this R1 into Samori, or possibly getting this R2 out of danger by feeding it to the overpopulation to blow up the reds here in Samori. I don't know. That's an interesting choice. I'm interested to see if they commit to it and how Gregory responds. Okay, so Gregory really should either capture this invader or move a red out of their homeworld to prevent Dodo getting a cheap star destruction. They're thinking about just capturing that R2. Okay, that's a good point. Okay, so capturing that red 2 is also a defense against the cheap star destruction, since that R2 was needed for the overpopulation. Now, Dodo in this position would still have the opportunity to destroy the Gregory's red star, but now they would have to do it with an R3 rather than an R2. That's much more expensive, and Dodo definitely shouldn't do that. Okay, that's a good move from Gregory. That's better than what I was looking at. Dodo, however, still has the option to destroy two of Gregory's ships, and a large red in particular, by moving in this little red, sacrificing the Y2 to do it. That's what they're looking at. Okay, well, let's see if they commit to that. That's pretty reasonable, I think. Dodo is still down on material, but this will catch them up on large ships, which I think of as being very important. I might over-prioritize that, in fact, but this looks a little bit better for Dodo than the position that was in place a moment ago. I think Dodo should commit to that. Dodo, I'm just noticing that Dodo has green and Gregory doesn't have any green ships at all. That may come into play later if Dodo starts building up the greens some more. But Gregory is in an even better position to start building more blues now, since Dodo doesn't have any ships at a blue star, even, to trade for blue. So I think Gregory should move one of their blue ships to Samori. Or maybe they'll find something better. Oh, yep. All right. That is a better move. Dodo has, since they now have no red in their home, this is why I like to have red stars in my home. I can't accidentally strand myself without a red star at home, a red red power at home. So Dodo now must sacrifice their only red ship to capture this invader, or they will lose immediately. Having sacrificed their only red, Dodo is then a great target for another invasion when they will have no red at all. And Gregory can sacrifice medium red to move their R3 into Dodo's home. This will be over very soon. All right, Dodo takes the only move they can reasonably take. Gregory now sacrifices Y2 to invade Dodo's home. There it is. And Dodo has no red and is going to lose in just a moment. It's just a question of what they decide to do with their last turn. I suppose they could build ships in their home or move a ship home and live one turn longer, but they don't. They pass. So Dodo sacrifices to capture the last two ships in Dodo's home. Well, that was exciting. It's funny when you can't see the ending coming, and then it turns out it was standing right next to you and pops out and surprises you, like a killer in a scary movie. I'm trying to think of something I can say that would make a good doodle for the thumbnail on YouTube. Okay, so that's going to be it. The ending snuck up on me like a killer in the closet. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you for watching, and see you next time.